You're exhausted. I know you are. You've been pushing and striving and grinding away, trying to make things happen, trying to force doors open that seem permanently locked. You've been running on empty for so long that you can't even remember what it feels like to be truly rested. And somewhere inside you, there's this voice that keeps saying you need to do more, be more, achieve more. But what if I told you that everything you've been searching for is waiting for you on the other side of rest? What if the very thing you need most right now is to simply stop? You see, we live in a world that glorifies exhaustion. We wear our fatigue like badges of honor. We brag about how little sleep we get, how many hours we work, how busy our schedules are. We've been conditioned to believe that rest is laziness, that stopping means giving up, that if we're not constantly doing something, we're falling behind. But this is one of the greatest lies ever sold to humanity. The truth is that rest is not the opposite of productivity. Rest is the foundation of everything meaningful you will ever create. There's a power in rest that goes beyond physical recovery. When you truly rest, when you allow yourself to stop striving and simply be, you create space for something magnificent to enter your life. You create room for inspiration, for clarity, for divine guidance. All those answers you've been desperately seeking while you're running around in circles, they're waiting for you in the stillness. They can't reach you when you're moving at 100 miles an hour, drowning out your inner voice with noise and distraction and endless activity. Think about nature for a moment. The earth doesn't apologize for winter. Trees don't feel guilty when they drop their leaves and stand bare against the cold sky. They know that this period of rest, this seeming emptiness, is actually preparation for the abundance of spring. They trust the process. They understand that there are seasons for everything, and that rest is not just acceptable but absolutely necessary for new growth. You are part of nature too. You are not exempt from these cycles. There are seasons in your life, and right now you might be in a winter season, and that's okay. That's more than okay. That's exactly where you need to be, because what's coming next, what's being prepared for you while you rest, is going to shock you. It's going to be so much bigger and better than anything you could have forced into existence through sheer willpower and exhaustion. The universe works in mysterious ways. God, Source, Spirit, whatever name you give to that infinite intelligence that orchestrates everything, has a plan for you that is far greater than your limited human perspective can comprehend. But you have to get out of your own way. You have to stop trying to control every single detail. You have to release your white-knuckled grip on how you think things should unfold and trust that there's a bigger picture at work. When you rest, you're not giving up, you're surrendering. And there's a massive difference between those two things. Giving up is rooted in defeat, in hopelessness, in the belief that nothing will ever change. Surrendering is rooted in trust, in faith, in the understanding that you don't have to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. Surrendering means you acknowledge that there are forces at work beyond your control, and that's not a weakness, it's a relief. Right now, in this very moment, miracles are being arranged on your behalf. Doors are being prepared to open. People are being positioned to enter your life. Opportunities are being crafted specifically for you. Resources are being mobilized. But all of this happens behind the scenes, in the invisible world of energy and consciousness. And you cannot see it or feel it or touch it yet. You just have to trust that it's happening. This is where most people fail. They can't rest because they can't trust. They're so used to making things happen through force that they don't know how to receive what's being given. They're like someone standing under a waterfall with an umbrella, wondering why they're still thirsty. You have to put down the umbrella. You have to open your hands. You have to create space to receive. Your exhaustion is not a badge of honor. It's a signal. It's your body, your mind, your spirit telling you that you've been operating from the wrong source of power. You've been trying to do everything in your own strength, relying on your own limited resources, and it's depleting you. But there's another way. There's an infinite source of energy, creativity, and power available to you at all times. You just have to plug into it. And you can't plug in when you're constantly moving. Rest is not passive. Rest is one of the most active, powerful choices you can make. When you choose to rest, you're choosing to trust. You're choosing to believe that you are supported, that you are loved, that you are being taken care of. You're choosing to step out of fear and into faith. And that takes courage, real courage. The kind of courage that our society doesn't talk about enough. You know what happens when you truly rest? You remember who you are. All those layers of conditioning, all those false beliefs about what you need to do to be worthy, all that programming about productivity and success, it starts to fall away. And underneath all of that noise, there's a still, small voice. It's the voice of your true self. It's been trying to guide you all along, but you couldn't hear it over the chaos. This voice knows things that your conscious mind doesn't. It knows your purpose. It knows your path. It knows exactly what you need and when you need it. But it speaks in whispers, not shouts. It communicates through intuition, through feelings, through subtle nudges and quiet certainties. You have to be still to hear it. You have to rest to receive its guidance. And here's what's amazing. When you follow this inner guidance, when you move from a place of rest rather than exhaustion, everything changes. You stop forcing and start flowing. You stop struggling and start allowing. You realize that life doesn't have to be so hard. You've been making it hard by swimming against the current instead of floating with it. The current of life, the flow of the universe, is always moving toward your highest good. Always. But you have to align with it. You have to get on the same frequency. And you can't do that when you're vibrating at the frequency of stress, anxiety, and burnout. Rest brings you back to your natural frequency. It recalibrates you. It tunes you back into the station where all the good stuff is broadcasting. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. You're thinking, but I can't rest. I have bills to pay. I have responsibilities. I have people depending on me. I understand. I really do. But here's what you need to know. Rest doesn't mean you abandon your responsibilities. It doesn't mean you quit your job or ignore your obligations. It means you change your relationship with those things. It means you stop operating from panic and start operating from peace. You can work from a place of rest. You can fulfill your responsibilities from a place of rest. Rest is not about what you're doing externally. It's about what's happening internally. It's about your inner state, your mental and emotional posture. You can be physically active while being internally at rest. It's about not being attached to outcomes, not being consumed by worry, not carrying anxiety about tomorrow while you're living today. When you operate from this place of internal rest, you actually become more effective, not less. You make better decisions. You have more clarity. You're more creative. You're more present. You show up as your best self instead of your most depleted self. The quality of everything you do improves because you're no longer running on fumes. And here's the thing that will really shock you. When you rest, when you truly let go and trust, things start happening that you couldn't have made happen no matter how hard you tried. Synchronicities multiply. The right people show up at exactly the right time. Solutions appear out of nowhere. Doors open that you didn't even know existed. Money comes from unexpected sources. Opportunities fall into your lap. It's like the universe was just waiting for you to get out of the way so it could deliver all the blessings it's been trying to give you. This is not magic. This is not wishful thinking. This is how life actually works when you align with it instead of fighting against it. You are a spiritual being having a human experience, and there's a part of you that is always connected to the infinite. When you rest, you strengthen that connection. When you're in constant motion, running on ego and fear, you weaken it. Your ego wants you to believe that you're in control, that everything depends on you, that if you stop pushing, everything will fall apart. But that's the ego's lie. The truth is that you're not in control and you never were. And that's actually the most liberating thing you could ever realize. Because if you're not in control, then you don't have to carry the burden of making everything happen. You just have to show up, do your part, and trust that the rest is being handled by something far greater than your small self. Think about all the things in your life that have worked out despite your worry, despite your fear, despite your attempts to control everything. Think about the times when you were sure it was all going to fall apart, and somehow it didn't. Think about the unexpected blessings that showed up when you weren't even looking for them. That wasn't luck. That was grace. That was the universe taking care of you. And it's always been taking care of you. It always will. But you have to cooperate with it. You have to work with it, not against it. And right now, what it's asking you to do is rest. It's asking you to trust. It's asking you to believe that something better than you can conceive is on its way to you. And your job is not to figure out how or when or where. Your job is simply to prepare yourself to receive it. How do you prepare? By resting, by healing, by releasing all the old patterns and beliefs that no longer serve you, by letting go of resentment, anger, fear, and doubt, by forgiving yourself and others, by clearing out the mental and emotional clutter that's been blocking your blessings, by making room in your life for the new to enter. You can't pour new wine into old wineskins. You can't receive a new level of abundance if you're still clinging to old lack mentality. You can't step into a new version of yourself if you're still identified with the old one. Rest is the space where transformation happens. It's the cocoon stage. And yes, it might feel like nothing is happening. It might feel like you're stuck, but that's just because you can't see what's taking place beneath the surface. The caterpillar doesn't know it's becoming a butterfly. From its perspective, it's just dissolved into goo. But that goo is reorganizing itself into something completely new, something that can fly. You are in the goo right now, and I know it's uncomfortable. I know it's scary. I know you want to speed up the process, but you can't rush transformation. You can only surrender to it. Every great spiritual tradition talks about the power of stillness, of silence, of rest. It's not because ancient wisdom keepers were lazy. It's because they understood something that our modern world has forgotten. They understood that there's a creative power in rest that exceeds anything we can accomplish through striving. They understood that we're not meant to be human doings, we're meant to be human beings. Being comes before doing. Who you are is more important than what you do. And you can only know who you are when you stop doing long enough to listen to that still, small voice inside. That voice is your connection to the divine. It's your hotline to infinite intelligence. And it has all the answers you've been seeking. But you have to create the conditions for it to speak. You have to turn down the volume on the outside world. You have to unplug from the constant stream of information and stimulation and distraction. You have to give yourself permission to be still, to be quiet, to do nothing for periods of time. And I know that feels almost impossible in our world today, but it's essential. Your rest is revolutionary. In a world that profits from your exhaustion, that wants you tired and distracted and too depleted to question anything, choosing to rest is an act of rebellion. It's a declaration that you will not sacrifice your well-being on the altar of productivity. It's a statement that you know your worth is not determined by your output. It's a recognition that you are a sacred being, deserving of care and gentleness and time to simply exist. When you rest, you're not being selfish. You're being wise. You're acknowledging that you can't pour from an empty cup. You're understanding that the best gift you can give to others is a version of yourself that is rested, restored, and connected to your source. Nobody benefits from your burnout. Not your family, not your friends, not your work, and certainly not you. So give yourself permission. Permission to slow down. Permission to say no. Permission to disappoint people if it means protecting your peace. Permission to prioritize your well-being over other people's expectations. Permission to rest without guilt, without justification, without feeling like you have to earn it. You don't have to earn rest. Rest is your birthright. It's as essential as breathing. And while you rest, trust that everything you need is coming to you. Trust that the universe is working overtime on your behalf. Trust that there's a perfect timing to everything, and that this period of rest is not wasted time but sacred time. Trust that you're exactly where you need to be, learning exactly what you need to learn, preparing for exactly what's next. What's next is going to shock you. It's going to be so much better than what you were trying to force into existence. It's going to be aligned with your true purpose, your highest good, your soul's path. It's going to feel like it's too good to be true, but it will be true. It will be real. It will be yours. But you have to rest now to receive it later. The universe doesn't operate on your timeline. It operates on divine timing. And divine timing is always perfect, even when it doesn't feel like it. Even when you're frustrated, even when you're impatient, even when you can't see any evidence that things are moving. They are moving. Behind the scenes, in ways you can't see, everything is being orchestrated. Your job is to trust the process. Your job is to have faith. Your job is to rest in the knowing that you are loved, you are supported, you are guided, and you are never alone. There's a benevolent force at work in your life that wants you to succeed, that wants you to thrive, that wants you to experience joy and peace and abundance. But it can only deliver these things when you stop blocking them with fear and control and exhaustion. So rest. Really rest. Not just your body, but your mind and your spirit. Let go of the need to figure everything out. Release the anxiety about the future. Stop replaying the past. Come into this present moment and just be. Be here. Be now. Be at peace. When you rest, you're not falling behind. You're actually getting ahead because you're aligning yourself with the flow of life instead of fighting against it. You're conserving your energy for what really matters instead of wasting it on worry and struggle. You're becoming a vessel that can hold greater blessings instead of a broken container that leaks everything it receives. What's coming next will shock you because it will be better than you dared to hope for. It will restore your faith. It will remind you that there's a loving intelligence guiding your life. It will show you that you were right to trust, right to rest, right to believe that something beautiful was being prepared for you. But you have to make it through this winter season. You have to endure this period of not knowing, of waiting, of resting. You have to resist the temptation to go back to old patterns of striving and forcing. You have to stay in the rest, stay in the trust, stay in the faith. And I promise you, when spring comes, and it will come, you'll look back on this time and understand why it was necessary. You'll see that you weren't being punished or forgotten or left behind. You were being prepared. You were being pruned so you could grow stronger. You were being emptied so you could be filled with something better. You were being taught to trust at a level you never trusted before. The greatest things in your life have always come when you got out of your own way, when you stopped trying to control everything and allowed life to surprise you, when you surrendered your plans and opened yourself to something greater. This is one of those times. This is a sacred pause. Honor it, respect it, use it wisely. Rest doesn't mean giving up on your dreams. It means releasing the anxiety around them. It means trusting that if a dream is truly yours, it will manifest in the right way at the right time. It means understanding that you don't have to chase your good is chasing you. And when you rest, when you become still, it can finally catch up to you. So many blessings have been trying to reach you, but you've been moving too fast for them to land. So many miracles have been knocking on your door, but you've been too busy to answer. So many opportunities have been presenting themselves, but you've been too exhausted to see them. Rest changes all of that. Rest makes you available. Rest makes you receptive. Rest makes you ready. What God is bringing next will shock you because it will be customized for you. It won't look like anyone else's blessing. It won't follow anyone else's timeline. It will be perfectly suited to who you are, where you are, and what you need. And it will arrive at exactly the right moment, not a second too early or too late. But until that moment comes, your responsibility is to take care of yourself, to rest your weary body, to quiet your anxious mind, to soothe your tired spirit, to be gentle with yourself, to practice self-compassion, to remember that you're doing the best you can with what you have, and that's enough. You are enough. You've always been enough. You don't have to prove anything to anyone, including yourself. You don't have to earn love or worthiness or blessings. These things are already yours by virtue of your existence. You are a child of the universe, and the universe takes care of its own, always has, always will. Rest in that truth. Rest in the knowledge that you are held, you are loved, you are protected. Rest in the certainty that something wonderful is unfolding for you right now, even if you can't see it yet. Rest in the peace that passes all understanding, the peace that comes from knowing you don't have to have all the answers, you don't have to control all the outcomes, you don't have to carry all the weight. Let it go. Let it all go. Everything you've been holding onto so tightly, all the worry, all the fear, all the need to make things happen, just release it. Give it to God, to the universe, to whatever higher power you believe in. Say, I can't do this alone, and I don't have to. I trust that I'm being guided. I trust that I'm being taken care of. I trust that what's meant for me will not pass me by. And then rest. Really, truly rest. Not with guilt, not with anxiety, not with the nagging feeling that you should be doing something more. Rest with peace. Rest with trust. Rest with faith. Rest with the deep inner knowing that everything is working out for your highest good, even when it doesn't look like it. This is your time. This is your season of rest. Don't waste it wishing you were somewhere else or doing something different. Be fully present in it. Accept it. Allow it. Know that it's preparing you for something magnificent. Know that it's healing you, restoring you, realigning you with your true self and your true path. What comes next will be worth the wait. It will be worth the rest. It will be worth the trust. And when it arrives, you'll understand why everything had to happen exactly the way it did. You'll see the perfection in the timing. You'll recognize the divine hand in every detail. And you'll be grateful that you chose to rest, that you chose to trust, that you chose to believe even when you couldn't see. So rest now. Rest deeply. Rest completely. Rest without reservation. Your breakthrough is coming. Your blessing is on its way. Your miracle is being prepared. And it's going to shock you in the best possible way. Just rest, trust, and wait with expectant joy. What's next is going to be beautiful.